Good morning, everyone. This is Todd Brow with Senior Insurance Marketing, and we are excited to have Andy Larson with National General Accident and Health with us today. He's going to talk about their exciting short-term medical product and also the Medicare supplements. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Andy and learn more about the National General products.
All right. Well, thank you, Todd, and thank you for those of you who joined us on the phone this morning or will be listening to this recording. As Todd said, my name is Andy Larson. I'm Sales Director for National General Accident and Health, covering predominantly the agencies in the Upper Midwest and agents there within that may affiliate with those agencies. So real excited to be working with Senior Insurance Marketing to talk about a couple different things. So today's goal here is, if you're not familiar with National General, just give you a couple of bullet points about who we are and the strength of our company. But Todd and Mike have asked me to come here today to talk about specifically a couple products that, one, relevant not only to the under 65 space in general, but relevant to those who might be working predominantly in the senior market, and that's short-term medical. So we'll talk about some details with our short-term medical. We won't get too far into the weeds, but more or less provide the concept around it and talk about why it might be a good important piece to your toolkit as an agent. So next we'll get into just our introduction on our Medicare supplement with National General. We've recently launched our Medicare supplement plans in about a year ago in 11 states. We're up to 37 states today, and by 9/1 we'll be in an additional 4 more, rounding out our footprint to 41 states across the land. So then after that, we'll talk to you about how you can get started after we've whipped you up into a frenzy, and contracting, what that all entails, and how you can get started and the support you can get from NatGen. So without further ado, just a little bit about National General and who we are. The roots of our company trace back to 1939 in many ways, shapes, and forms. We are a part of National General Holdings Corp., which is on the NASDAQ as NGHC. But one of the things that about our company is we are born out of a strong P&C distribution and acquisitions of companies that maybe haven't been doing so well, and turning them into from $1 million companies into $1 billion companies. So we started our accident and health division about 5 to 7 years ago, and have in our carrier distribution with National General, we underwrite products by National Health Insurance Company. We went from 0 sales to a couple $100 million of sales within just a short couple of years on the under 65 space, and we are making that transition into the med sub space as well. So on the accident and health side, we are part of a $5 billion company, so we have financial strength behind us and an A- rating to show the strength of our organization as a whole, not only as a P&C carrier, but also as a accident and health carrier as well in the both under and over 65 space. So here we are today, though. What we have to offer on our accident and health suite of products, we've grown our distribution through our short-term medical product and the rise of that product over the last few years, and the evolution to where it is today. We'll talk about that. But in addition, we offer a broad suite of under 65 supplemental plans that can help bubble wrap your client's coverage, no matter the flavor of the core plan that your client might have, but also to provide cash benefits when your client needs it most at the time of a major claim. So same as how a med sub plan might work for Medicare's Part A and B, our under 65 suite of supplemental products work in the same vein, albeit maybe a little bit different. So we do also offer with our National General Benefit Solutions team a level-funded group plan for groups 2 to 50 is usually the number they say. So if you're in any of these spaces, we can talk further and get you in the right direction and go from there. But we're going to talk about our short-term medical plan today and why it might be a good opportunity for you. In general, short-term medical has always been designed to fill a gap in coverage, whether someone is newly independent or they are a waiting period or a COBRA employee. Maybe they are recently divorced or something to that effect, and they're just bridging the gap between that point in time and their next coverage option. But with ACA, ACA has limited enrollments to open enrollment periods. And right now we are outside of the open enrollment period, so that's the special enrollment period. So your client has to have a qualified event to be able to obtain an ACA compliant plan. Absent that qualified life event, the short-term medical plan is the best solution to get them from that point in time to the next enrollment. Now that's just on its face if your client doesn't have a qualified event. The truth of it with ACA though is that ACA is still unaffordable for many just because of the rise in premiums over the last 5 years and lack of options as well. 49% of counties across the United States only have one carrier choice for their citizens. So therefore, in reality, one carrier choice means you have no choice. Short-term medical has become a premier alternative for those who may be marginalized because they don't qualify for a subsidy, or they feel as though their utilization is next to nothing or nothing, and they don't want to have to overpay for benefits they're not going to use. That's forcing many people to look at the short-term medical option as an alternative for their core health plan. Now, if a client qualifies for a subsidy or based on their health needs, they need that comprehensive coverage, absolutely go ACA all day long. But it's become a premier alternative for those under 65 that are looking for a plan that's affordable and fits their needs. So it's given agents in the field more to talk about versus the status quo, the cookie cutter columns, one size fits all type plans, bronze, silver, gold. But it also allows you to differentiate yourself as a trusted advisor, and that could allow you to cross-sell more products, to deliver value in that recommendation, and have a client that's not only going to be under 65, but eventually they'll turn 65 too. So where this might fit for you as a senior market-focused agent, if that's predominantly your space. So I'm sure you run into many times where you might have a T65 client where their spouse might be 62, 63, 64 years old. Maybe that T65 client carried the insurance with their position and they retired, or maybe they're an early retiree that retired at 63, but they don't want to pay COBRA, or they don't want to pay the exorbitant prices of ACA. But they're rather healthy, and they're looking for something that's just going to fill that gap between then and the time that they go on to Medicare. So that transition to Medicare can be a cost-effective alternative to what that status quo is, given a lack of any sort of subsidy, or even with a subsidy, you may find that this may be an affordable option for your client. So, and where the market has evolved over the last few years in terms of how long a client can have a short-term medical plan. Prior to 2018, clients could only have coverage for either 6 months or 12 months, dependent upon the state. In 2017, the federal government limited short-term medical to 90 days or less. The Obama administration says people are buying short-term because of its affordability, but it can have an impact on ACA. So to protect the ACA legislation, they limit it to 90 days or less. So where we sit today, though, is the Trump administration announced an executive order last fall that would open up the duration limits on short-term medical. So as of October of 2018, we've been offering anywhere from 3 to 12-month plans dependent upon the state. And where National General has separated ourselves from our competitors is that we have launched concepts where where your clients can purchase separate short-term medical plans on one application, so they can extend their term length up anywhere from 6 to 24 months. So that's huge in the world of short-term medical, and here are the reasons why. Short-term medical is not a guaranteed issue product. It does not cover for pre-existing conditions. There may be some limitations on the plan, certain procedures. I'd recommend that as we show you how to get to the brochures, that you take a look at what those exclusions might be. But at the end of the day, if your client, in the old world, if your client had a 3-month plan, they would have to reapply for another 3 months. So if your client got sick in that first 3 months, then they'd have to reapply and qualify for another 3 months thereafter. So the 90-day rule only, really what it did was it only hurt the consumer because it forced them to show evidence of insurability every 90 days. What National General did is we made a concept to say you can do 4 3-month plans on one application, and you won't have to underwrite in between plans. So that was a concept that was very well received by the market, and really put National General on the map for a lot of partners, a lot of new partners that we took on, and we're still going strong today. But where we are seeing now as the trends of the new rules by the the Trump administration through the executive order is that now short-term medical can be sold for up to 36 months. Carriers are in the process of filing and releasing their plans with those provisions. But in the meantime, what National General has done is we've taken our 12-month plans and we've simply done what we call a 12x2, and we've opened up a 12x2 option, meaning your client purchases 2 12-month plans. They apply for it once. They know what the premium is for the first and the second year. So it's transparent to your client and certain for your client. And then it also pays the agent flat comp both years. So why this is important, especially if you're in the senior market, is if you have that client who turns T65, but that spouse is only 63, you can guarantee their rate for that 2-year period between that 63 and Medicare. So it's a nice solution to transition your clients from that point in time to the Medicare. And as we get into the Medicare portion of things here in a minute, perfect segue from going from a NatGen short-term plan to a NatGen Medicare Supplement. That is our hope, at least. Now, not all states are going to have this option. We are in the process of refiling all of our plans with renewability provisions up to 36 months and continue the 12x2 option in as many markets as we can. Some states, though, still have rules in terms of limitations. I'm going to provide Todd a grid post-presentation to send all of you. For example, in Oregon, Oregon still limits short-term medical to 3 months, and there may be a limit on the amount of times you can rewrite or a time that the client has to be without before you can rewrite. Illinois, for example, has a 6-month cap as well. Missouri at this time still has a 6-month cap, but we've done some things to circumvent that. So, for example, in Missouri, we do 2 6-month plans on one application. So it's a 12-month solution, but your client gets two plans without having to re-underwrite. Now, when we talk about multiple plan options, we talk about it in terms of the fact that they are separate plans. So premiums will be known at the time of application, but for each plan, your client receives a separate or a new out-of-pocket exposure to meet. Now, that you can call that a drawback if that's the only one, but at the end of the day, there are products that we offer that can help mitigate that resetting exposure as well. An important part of our offering with short-term medical as well is that, as I mentioned, short-term medical is not guaranteed issue. That said, if your client does not qualify for one of our standard issue plans, we do have a guaranteed issue option available. It's more or less an option that will get your client to the next enrollment, or will get them coverage until they can get on that group plan or whatever the scenario might be. But keep in mind that we do have a guaranteed issue option only for those that don't qualify for our standard issue plan. Our footprint is broad as well, along with the short-term medical grid in terms of state durations and rewrite rules. We'll also send the product availability grid as well. So you can see that we are a national carrier. We offer our full suite of product line in most states. Our short-term medical, we are in 39 states. And some states we've had to pull the footprint back on because of regulation with the new rules. But we've also been able to add some states as well. So I encourage you to take a look at these grids. We're not going to go through each state one by one, but take a look at these grids and see what might be available to you. Right now in Nebraska, for example, home base to senior insurance marketing, We do offer the 12x2 short-term scenario, and we are in the process of refiling for a renewable plan up to 36 months and still continue on with the 12x2 to provide certainty for your clients and certainty on the comp. So that's more or less our short-term medical piece of the puzzle. Again, if you're working in the under 65 space, it can be a cost-effective alternative for those where it's a fit based upon not qualifying for a subsidy or low utilization. And it's also a great fit for those who are transitioning or whose spouse has transitioned to Medicare. But the reality is that all the initial reasons why someone might have purchased a short-term medical plan in the past, the traditional methods between jobs, waiting period, COBRA alternative, those are all still there today. So I encourage you to take a little bit more look at it more as we send out more information. We could spend a good hour diving into this, but for sake of your time and attention today, we just wanted to provide the concept for you and transition that from saying, okay, well, now we have something that we can help our clients out with transitioning. Now let's see what Matt Jen has to offer on the senior market. So as I mentioned, we've been in the senior market here for about a year now. And we launched our Medicare Supplement in 8 states, going up to 42. And as we evolve as a carrier and as a distribution, National General, our senior leadership and the heads of our company, our board, they want us to be in this space for the long haul. And as you all know, 10,000 people turn 65 every day, and that's been happening for quite some time. So the reasons why you see on this screen why we got into the business are probably the same reasons why maybe you would get into the senior market if you're under 65 predominantly, or vice versa, why you might get into the under 65 space if you are a senior market agent. Under 65 clients eventually become 65, so it's a natural feeder system. But diversification, increased sales, overall growth, new customers, the same reasons why you might get into a specific space, same reason why we got into the senior space. So what do we offer, and what are some of our advantages here? We offer the traditional plans A, the F, high deductible F, G, and N. We do offer a 7% roommate discount. Their underwriting manual will have any state-specific rules. We'll provide that to Todd as well. We do have an instant issue e-app where a majority of our applications are approved right on the spot. 80% approve, reject right away. Competitive pricing, and we say competitive. When we design this with our reinsurers, Gen Re is our reinsurer. We designed our pricing to be competitive, but we didn't come into this space to buy business. So we'll show a couple scenarios here where we'll show you some competitiveness against names that you are very familiar with. But we didn't come into this space with the lowest rate to buy business. We want to be sustainable in this marketplace for the long haul, and we also want to be able to make sure that our rate increases are sustainable at or below industry norms as we evolve as a med sub carrier as well. So from that standpoint, we will show you some scenarios here in a minute. But if you are on the CSG application, we are listed under National Health Insurance Company. That is a paper that we underwrite. National General is the brand name. For reasons for CSG, we had to put how we are filed with NAIC with our paper, and that's under National Health Insurance Company. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but at the end of the day, you'll find it out there on CSG. So the map that you see here is a little bit outdated because it hasn't been kept up fast enough to keep up with all of our growth. But the important part to know is that the states in blue or gray, if you will, are the states where we will not have a Medicare supplement product. We did not file. So we are the states that are in yellow: Minnesota, Wisconsin, Missouri. We are launching 9/1 for 10/1 effective dates. Indiana, we have recently launched before this map could get updated. And California, we will also be launching for 9/1 with a 10/1 effective date as well. And that will round out our med sup, our footprint. When you look at it from a standpoint of each state, there may be some competitive differences in each state. So where should we maybe look at that? We'll talk about that in a second. So when you get contracted with National General, you'll get access again to both our under 65 and over 65 portfolio. You'll have a quoting tool specific for your under 65, but we'll also show the Medicare supplement rates. When you look at a Medicare supplement rate and you go to the application, it will bounce you to our Medicare supplement specific e-app enrollment pathway that is tied to our underwriter, where everything filters in, and that's where we get our instant decision on the e-app. We do offer that through the site on here. So if you're doing sales over the phone or belly to belly, requires a signature with the mother's maiden name. But for those that are still doing paper apps, we do have that option available. The preferred method, though, is the e-app. Our TPA, so you are aware, is Triad Insurance Administrators. As I mentioned, our reinsurer is Gen Re. Two pros in the business in terms of administering Medicare supplement plans and with the underwriting and reporting, keeping our product competitive. When you hear, if you see Triad or hear Triad, that is more or less our TPA for our short-term, our Medicare supplement product. So what are some of our competitive advantages that we have here? Well, when you look at overall, if you're to say across the board, even though that we may be seeing some changes here as a 1/1/20 of the Plan F, our competitive advantage right now is in the Plan F space. We look really good on the Plan F side of things. Plan G, now we understand that the market is trending toward Plan G, but 44% of the sales of Med Supp plans in 2018 were still on Plan F. So as we look at an overall strategy, we believe that even after 1/1, those that would still qualify for a switch to a Plan F would be wise to take a look at National General because our block is clean. We don't have any bad. Our business hasn't evolved to the point where we have a bad block. So therefore, we believe our pricing is going to sustain within that realm of even past 2020 for those that might be switching from a Plan F that might be looking to another Plan F, even if as you look at the trend toward G. Now, keep that in mind. But if you are looking at G, if you're looking at clients that are looking to switch from a Plan F maybe to a G, the 67 to 77 range is where our sweet spots are. Now, it can vary state by state, so I have a couple scenarios up here for you. But if you're mainly looking at home base with Nebraska, you'll find that not only on the F, but on the G side, you can find us to be pretty competitive. So here's a couple of carriers that you might be familiar with and how we stack up on the Plan F and the Plan G side. You'll see it's pretty competitive. These rates were obtained today off of CSG, for example. So I'd encourage you to take a look at what carriers you're looking at today and see how we stack up. But we feel that the Nebraska market is pretty good for us right now. I'll give you another example of where we might be really competitive is on the Idaho front out west. If you're doing any business in Idaho, we're just showing you some examples here of how our rates might look when it comes to Plan F and a Plan G against some of the bigger carriers out there. When we look at our pricing, we are pricing against if you look at the what we may call a Tier 1 carrier, a Cigna, Aetna, Mutual. Some of those Tier 1s, you'll find that in most cases we're within the top 5 of those, and you'll find success there. So keep that in mind as you look at our pricing. If you're in Illinois, we have some competitive advantages in Illinois as well. So keep Illinois in mind if you are in that market. So that more or less rounds up our Med Supp front. So we look at our overall strategy. We believe that there's still going to be room for the Plan F plan to succeed and thrive, and we have certain markets where our G is going to be more competitive than others. But at the end of the day, if 44% of sales were still on that Plan F, even though that trend is gearing toward G, there's still a lot of opportunity on that F market, especially for those clients that might be switching based upon a block on that F that might not be performing as well, and they've seen some significant rate increases. They can take a look at our block and our rates. That's at this point fairly clean. So, but as you look at overall with National General, again, other products that are available, I mentioned that we do offer a suite of under 65 supplemental plans. These plans are designed to mitigate or bubble wrap any core health plan that your client might have. Some of these products too will also be available for those who turn 65, because if you write them under age 64, they're renewable until 75, 85. Our accident fixed benefit, provided it's written under 65, is renewable for life. So with these products, they can be used to bubble wrap, supplement, however you want to go about it, or provide your clients cash benefits at the time when they need it most, at the time of claim. So when you look at the affordability, you can find plans as low as $13 per month. Great for bundling against those short-term medical sales that might have 2 or 4 terms attached to it with that resetting out of pocket. Or you can sell these standalone as a part of an overall cross-sell strategy with your agency to generate revenue and earn more commissions if you're not already selling these products today. On the dental front, within that scope of the supplemental products, our dental plans are available for issue over age 65. So we do offer a PPO and an indemnity plan that is available on the indemnity front to age 99. So keep that in mind. But one is going to be your traditional dental PPO. It's going to have the network, and then the other is indemnity, where it has some network savings available to you. But there's no requirement for a PPO provider to be seen or out-of-network benefits. But it's more of a predictable benefit. We'll pay on top of any other dental plan that your client might have. But these are our options today in the dental space, and we're always looking to evolve and create competitive products. So what you see today may look better in the coming months or into next year as well. So stay tuned for enhancements on these products, but this is what we offer today on the dental front. So I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you about incentives here. I know that with regard to MedSup, a lot of times it's nice to be able to earn a little extra bogey when it comes to selling a particular carrier. We're no different in terms of wanting to offer something that's going to be meaningful to you in terms of not only a competitive product, but with an incentive to help you earn more revenue or get more perks out of the efforts that you put in. So between now and the end of the year, this contest period says to June 30, but we did recently extend this, and we'll send this out to Todd as well to distribute to you. We have a program called our monthly sprints. So our monthly sprints is each month the tally resets, but if you were to sell 3 to 9 National General policies per month, we will pay you out an extra $100 per policy. If you were to sell 10 to 20 plans, $125, and 20 plus will earn you $150 per policy on a monthly basis. So, for example, if you sell 5 MedSup policies in a month with NatGen, we'll send you an additional $500 bonus. If you were to sell 10 policies with NatGen, you will receive a $1,250 bonus on a monthly basis. So there's some real cash out there for you to incentivize you to look at NatGen even further. So I encourage you to take a look at this, and especially as we start to ramp up this, we'll go through the enrollment period, and we'll apply to the end of December. So keep that in mind, especially as you get to enrollment, what type of cash is out there for you to earn. Lastly, we do have a trip incentive as well to Cabo. I'm in the Twin Cities area, so if you're like me, want to get away in the wintertime, we do have this great incentive to earn a trip to Cabo. The entry is 100 NatGen Medicare Supplement policies by the end of the year, so it does go through enrollment. Now, there are rumors on our under 65 as well regarding some trip incentives that might be available. So there may be some more incentives coming your way. So you'll keep your ears to the grindstone, and be sure to get in touch with Todd and the team at Senior Insurance Marketing to get contracted. If you are not contracted, contact them, and what they will do is they will send you a link for contracting that will get you access to our full portfolio. Once you complete that link, within 48 hours, you will be ready to sell with National General. And I say 48 hours, it's probably more like the next day. So there are no costs to get contracted, and you will have that ability to get your quoting tool. Coverage Builder is the name of our platform for under 65 business. Again, the MedSup rates are on Coverage Builder. Coverage Builder is where you will enroll your under 65 business as well. But for MedSup, it will bounce you to the MedSup e-app platform that has all the information in terms of paper app, policy status. We'll have underwriting status, and then also have the underwriting manual and paper apps within there as well. So our YouTube channel actually has a demo for our MedSup enrollment tool. Also more product information and training regarding the products. And we'll also have anywhere from 3 to 15-minute videos on all of our under 65 products, so you get an idea of either A, what the short-term medical plan details are, B, how do you enroll consecutive plans, or it might be as simple as how do I use the quoting tool, how do I look at my business in my back office, how do I access contracting as well. So there are lots of resources for you at National General to take advantage of. But at the end of the day, in addition to Senior Insurance Marketing, we have a team here ready to assist you. Myself, I'm out in the field a lot. I will be, if you're going to be in attendance on Friday at the Senior Insurance Marketing Summit, come say hi. I'll be set up at a booth, and we can talk a little bit more about this. But if I'm out and about on the road, we do have an internal team. Sherry Blackwood is our inside sales manager, and her job is to be on the phone with agents all day, helping them utilize their quoting tools, providing sales ideas, product troubleshooting, or any other back-end troubleshooting as well. And then Lynn rounds out our team doing some of that, more on the administrative side. So if there's an issue looking for a commission statement or whatever it might be, we have multiple touch points here to keep you moving, keep your business flowing, and when the fires pop up, we tamp them out as fast as we can. So with that, that's the end of our presentation. I'm going to turn it back to Todd. And Todd, you want to facilitate any questions or any additional comments you want to add to that?
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate it. And if anyone has any questions, they can type it into the box there, the question and answer box, and be happy to answer it for you. Or you could just feel free to contact us here at Senior Insurance Marketing at 877-800-3080. Again, 877-800-3080. And we're happy to help answer any questions, quotes, send out contracting links, whatever the case may be. We're here to help you grow your business. So I don't see any questions, Andy. So I think we're just going to thank everyone for attending the conference webinar today. And thank you, Andy, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about the National General Short-Term Medical, as well as the Medicare Supplement, and also the other ancillary products as well, too. So take care, everyone. Thanks for your time today. And give us a call here at Senior Insurance Marketing at 877-800-3080, and we'll be happy to help you out because we're here to help you grow your business. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.